Beamy, Nate, 29, floor-led at mid-sized bookstore called Maple and Ink, 2 floors of shelves and overpriced candles. Day job mostly shelving new arrivals, helping lost dads find kids' comics, talking book clubs out of reading the same thriller again. Place cozy, creaky wooden stairs, chalkboard quotes, regulars who bring their own tote bags and opinions. Old HR guy Harold existed somewhere between payroll emails and back office, only appeared twice a year to mumble about vacation forms. Rules simple: don't dog earstock, don't hit on customers, don't recommend conspiracy books to obvious conspiracy guys. One Tuesday morning, group chat pings, manager drops, mandatory all-staff meeting today, 4 p.m. Big culture news. Everyone assumes new discount system or another no drinks near the poetry shelves. Reminder: 4 o'clock hits, we circle up in event area, folding chairs between mindfulness and true crime sections. Store owner appears with woman early 30s, sharp bob haircut, blazer over t-shirt that says, "Feminism is my genre." Name tag reads, Riley Hart, Head of Reader Experience and Equity. Title long enough to need its own bookmark. Owner says Riley consulted for big brands on inclusive book spaces, now joining us full-time to evolve culture. She smiles like yoga teacher about to confiscate everyone's phones. Thanks us for holding space for this conversation. Starts talking about how women come into stores and get talked over, judged, mansplained, especially in places full of male canon. Says Maple and Ink must become a sanctuary where women can browse without unsolicited male opinions hovering over every shelf. Drops phrase, patriarchal recommendation pipeline, which sounds like plumbing issue, but apparently is us suggesting books. Final slide shows big pink logo. Listen then lift. Subtitle: Centering Women's Voices in Every Aisle. Some staff clap politely. A few female coworkers nod with real feeling. Couple guys exchange oh eyebrows over stacks of paperbacks. First email lands that night. Subject: Phase 1, Quiet Aisles. Policy explains that certain categories attract male domination of conversation, especially history, philosophy, sci-fi. For 2 hours every evening, men working those aisles cannot initiate conversation with women at all, only respond if directly asked for help. Also can't offer opinions unless woman first asks, "What do you think?" Otherwise, it counts as unsolicited framing. Riley calls it mansplain-free browsing window, schedule printed and taped near staff room microwave like new moon phase chart. Next week, I'm on evening shift, quiet aisle hours hit, watch woman clearly searching for something in sci-fi, eyes bouncing between shelves. Walk over, stop myself mid, need any help, because sign on pillar behind her screams, "Listen then lift, no unsolicited recs." She glances up, hesitates, mutters, "I'm good," then keeps wandering, eventually leaves with scented candle instead of book. Riley later says in debrief, "See how free she was not to be pressured into a purchase she didn't want, even though we literally sell books." Phase 2 arrives mid-month. Subject line: Curating Safe Counsel, Women's Recommendation Desk. New setup: little wooden counter between romance and contemporary lit. Sign: Ask Her, Women's Picks Only. During peak hours, only women staff allowed. Behind that desk, all female customers gently steered there for advice. Men on floor told to redirect any woman asking deeper questions with phrase, "Our women's desk specializes in those recommendations." Translation: dudes are now mostly living signposts with arms for carrying hardcovers. Riley claims this returns interpretive power to women. Manager quietly wonders who will cover desk on nights with mostly male staff. Schedule reworked. Suddenly, every woman employee stuck at ask her counter, while guys sprint around shelving, ringing, hunting bathroom keys. Phase 3, email hits like falling stack of hardcovers. Mansplain tokens, making space tangible. New rule: men must physically hold small laminated card labeled "OK to explain" before giving any extended recommendation to a woman. Cards kept at cash wrap in little dish, limited supply of 5, meant to raise awareness about who is talking and why. If token bowl empty, we're supposed to say, "I've already taken up enough explanation space today. Maybe a woman on staff can share her view." Riley beams describing system and meeting, calls them training wheels for allyship. Everyone else mentally calculates number of times per hour this will be insane. First weekend after tokens launch, store packed, some influencer posted about our cozy chairs. Suddenly, we're aesthetic background for half of Instagram. Woman asks me in mystery aisle, "Is this series actually good, or just everywhere on TikTok?" I pat pockets, realize all 5 tokens already checked out. Have to say line from script, feel stupid. She gives me look like I've just confessed to brain damage, walks away to find literally anyone else. Coworker Mia, who actually likes system, teases me with her token, says, "See, now I'm the authority." Waves plastic like sorcerer license. Couple guys start gaming it, hoard tokens, whisper, "Stock up now, book club coming at 6. Riley calls that scarcity mindset, writes Slack post about it. Phase 4 comes faster than the rest. Subject: invisible labor audit, correcting emotional misuse. Riley explains that women staff get stuck listening to customers' life stories more, giving relationship advice, playing therapist in self-help aisle. Solution: new app called CareLog, where women can assign emotional labor credits to men for things like covering shifts, listening to vent sessions, cleaning kids' corner. Points tied loosely to performance reviews, for now, with line about future integration with promotion pathways. Men who decline requested care tasks get negative marks. Phrase "refused emotional support" pops up on their profile. Within week, I've logged discussed breakup with regular for 20 minutes while shelving. Cleaned slime off kid's table. Helped grandma log into a reader. Each one shows as little green leaf next to my name on dashboard. Riley calls me sprouting ally. My soul calls for strong drink. Amid all this, owner announces big opportunity, giant subscription book club app called PageNest Scouting Brick and Mortar Partners. Idea: choose one flagship store for co-branded events, signed editions, app promos, basically free marketing plus revenue for us. PageNest team scheduled to visit Maple and Ink on Saturday, tour store, watch how we handle recommendations, maybe sign pilot deal. Riley ecstatic, says our equity work will blow them away, insists their execs are women first, business people second. Store manager more focused on question: do we have enough staff who actually read the books we're showing them? Spoiler, that's mostly me and a couple other male canon goblins. Week before visit, Riley cranks dials even further, announces Silent Men Saturday pilot, coinciding exactly with tour day. Policy slide says from noon to 4, male staff in front areas may not initiate any unsolicited conversation with women at all. to model what truly pressure-free browsing feels like, can still talk to men and kids, can answer women's direct questions, but no, hey, can I help you find something, and no opinions unless they clearly insist. Also expands Ask Her Desk to PageNest Preview Hub, only women allowed to stand there and recommend featured titles. I ask quietly in meeting who will talk to PageNest about our more niche genres, since I'm the only one who read half the shortlist. Riley smiles, says, "Your expertise matters, but male interpretation has had the mic for long enough. This is an opportunity to showcase women's taste leadership." Owner stays silent. Pressure of possible deal-making spine flexible. Saturday arrives. Store cleaned to within inch of its life. Display tables groaning under curated stacks with little handwritten signs. Riley stations herself near door, wearing blazer and branded tee that says, "Listen then lift," ready to intercept all executives with thesis statements. PageNest team strolls in around 1, 2 women in nice jackets, 1 guy with tablet, 1 middle-aged woman with glasses who looks like she's seen every corporate stunt. They introduce themselves, we do awkward handshake dance, then Riley launches into speech about decentering male taste from book discovery. Explains Silent Men Saturday like it's revolutionary art piece. PageNest group nods politely. Glasses woman raises eyebrow half an inch. Tour begins. They head toward fiction. I hang back per rules. Half guide, half ghost. First sign of trouble happens near Fantasy Wall. One of the execs, Tara, spots favorite author misfiled. She glances around, sees me, asks, "Hey, is this the first book in the series or the third? I can never remember order." Mouth opens automatically with answer, then brain screams, "You have no token and it's Silent Men." Short circuit moment. Manage to reply, I'm not the best person to ask. Mia at the women's desk can help, even though Mia thinks dragons are all the same. Tara gives small, confused laugh, says, "Okay," walks off. Mia, swamped at Ask Her Hub with 4 customers asking for completely different vibes, tosses out quick, "Standalone, you're fine," which is objectively wrong. Later, hear Tara mention to colleague, "That clerk, who clearly knew, didn't answer, and the other one gave me bad info." Tone not thrilled. Tour continues. PageNest folks want to observe how we recommend books to different demographics. Family with teenage daughter walks in, girl wearing PageNest hoodie, perfect target for convert to pilot store superfan moment. She beelines for fantasy shelf, stands near me holding 2 chunky paperbacks, expression pleading with universe for guidance. I know both series, one fun, one horrible slog disguised as feminism by guy who hates endings. Can't start convo. Silent Men rules wrap around tongue like duct tape. Girl eventually asks, "Do you like either of these?" Hope blooms for half second, then dies remembering tokens. Answer hedged. "They're popular, but I think our women's desk has great picks today." Point her toward table, loaded with pastel romance, because shipment got mixed up. She looks at table, then at me again, quietly says, "Okay, thanks." Grabs the slog book at random, heads to register. PageNest glasses, lady watches entire thing, scribbles notes, expression unreadable. Later, they sit for small, listening session with customers Riley invited, mostly women from our regular book clubs. Planned script, talk about how nice it is not to be talked over by male staff, how Ask Her Desk feels like safe harbor. Session derails when one middle-aged regular, Denise, laughs and says, Honestly, I miss Nate arguing with me about endings. He's read everything in here. Room chuckles. She continues. Last week, he sent me to someone who hadn't heard of the author. I thought he was mad at me. PageNest team glances my way. Riley coughs, tries to steer conversation back to oppressive male gaze in nonfiction shelving. After customer time, they pull owner, Riley, and me into back office for more formal chat. Main exec smiles politely, says she loves our atmosphere, but has questions about consistency of service. Mentions several moments where staff who clearly knew answers deferred to others who didn't. Asks why employees refer simple series order questions to separate desk instead of just helping on the spot. Riley launches into explanation about unlearning male authority, tells story of woman who felt talked down to about classics. Exec listens, nods slowly, then asks, "How do you decide who is allowed to recommend which books?" Tone sharp around edges now. Riley proudly describes tokens, Silent Men Saturdays, Carelog, the whole ideological buffet. PageNest guy with tablet pulls up metrics from their app pilot tests. Says customers rank staff who know what they're talking about as top factor for store preference, above decor and cafe even. Owner glances at me like man remembering I exist as knowledge source, not just moving boxes. I keep mouth mostly shut, but when exec asks, "Do you feel constrained in helping readers?" eyes land squarely on me. Answer carefully. Sometimes policies make it a little confusing when someone asks a question in the wrong place or hour. Understatement of year. Mention case of teen with hoodie. Wrong book. How I couldn't give nuance because I technically used up tokens earlier on another group. Exec raises eyebrows higher, says, "Your own best resource is technicality throttled. That's new, not compliment." 2 days later, we get polite email from PageNest thanking us for visit, saying they'll continue evaluating partners, corporate speak for no thanks. Owner's disappointment almost audible, like sagging shelf under too many hardcovers. Following week big staff meeting called again, chairs out, Riley standing next to owner, both serious. Owner reads excerpt from PageNest follow-up call where they said store appeared to prioritize ideology over reader service, and our strongest recommenders seemed least empowered to speak. Then points at chart of weekend sales from visit, down compared to usual Saturdays, despite foot traffic up from event hype. Riley tries to defend, says shifts like this take time. Deal might have fallen through anyway. Men feeling slighted isn't reason to abandon equity. Owner replies quietly, "It's not about hurt feelings. It's about people leaving with candles instead of books, because the one person who read the thing pretended he didn't." Lawyer from HQ joins via laptop to talk about Carelog, asks if tying emotional labor credits to performance only for men might be discriminatory on paper. Asks what happens if male employee disciplined, partly because he declined to listen to coworker vent on unpaid lunch break. Riley says, "That's solidarity, not discipline." Lawyer replies, "Courts tend to see checkboxes, not vibes." After too many slides and some heavy sighs, owner announces Maple and Ink is sunsetting the Listen Then Lift program. Says Quiet Isles, Token System, and Carelog are suspended effective immediately, going back to everyone helps readers, don't be a creep, don't be a jerk. Then drops second shoe. Riley and I have decided to part ways. Classic nice way of saying pack your desk. She looks stunned, asks, "So I'm being punished because men refuse to step back and let women lead recommendations?" Owner answers, "You're being let go because we can't afford to scare off partners and confuse customers to make a point about which gender is allowed to know stuff." Couple co-workers look conflicted, some relieved. Mia mostly just tired, because she's been bearing weight of Ask Her Desk for weeks. Riley collects her plants and printout quotes, leaves without big speech, only clack of boots on floor and slam of staff door. Over next days, quiet aisle posters vanish. Ask Her counter, renamed simply Staff Picks. Anyone can stand there and talk about whatever they actually read. Token Bowl repurposed to hold bookmarks. Carelog app quietly dies. Cleaning rota redistributed by shift, not chromosomes. Store slowly feels normal again. Mix of nerdy debates, casual recs, occasional obnoxious guy we still tell to chill. Few weeks later, I help that same teen girl again. She jokes, "Are you allowed to talk now?" I sell her 3 books and an enamel pin. One slow evening between customers, I scroll my phone behind counter, stumble on viral LinkedIn post shared by HR pages. Title reads, "I was fired for making bookstores safe for women's voices. The cost of challenging male canon." Author photo, obviously Riley, standing in front of different shelves, arms crossed, look of noble suffering. Skim post, she describes Maple and Ink as toxic literary boys' club, where male clerks hoarded knowledge and refused to let women advise each other. Says she implemented progressive systems that terrified insecure men. Claims major partnership pulled out because patriarchy fought back. No mention of tokens blocking simple questions or page full of notes from PageNest about customers leaving confused. Comment section full of "You're a hero," stealing this idea for my store. Stomach drops like elevator with cut cable. Imagine some other Nate in some other shop being told to shut up about books he loves because he hasn't earned enough laminated permission cards today. Close LinkedIn, open anonymous board in different tab on my phone, cursor blinking inside new thread box like small impatient eye. Start typing. Be me, bookstore guy who watched a feminist HR turn recommendations into a minefield until the customers, the partner, and eventually her job all walked out the door. Figure if World is going to copy-paste her story, somebody might want DLC version with bugs and crash report included.